At 80 years of age, Ridley Scott seems to be speeding up rather than slowing down. His rate of output is absolutely phenomenal. All the Money in the World, his fictionalised account of the 1973 kidnapping of J Paul Getty's grandson, is a case in point. The film is already infamous for the bizarre behind-the-scenes drama that has unfolded at the back end of 2017 and led to a major character's scenes being totally reshot. This is not only an incredible technical achievement to do so much in such a short space of time, but is also completely unheard of in Hollywood history. And that's a shame, because it somewhat overshadows the drama that we actually see on the screen. I'll try and give you the gory details as quickly as possible. If you've been living under a rock somewhere, you may have somehow managed to miss the fact that the last quarter of 2017 saw a slew of Hollywood sex scandals, one of them involving Kevin Spacey. Spacey is a doubtless talented actor who has previously been lauded for his roles in everything from Seven, The Usual Suspects and American Beauty, through to 2017's Baby Driver. The problem for Ridley Scott was that when the news of the sex scandal broke, Spacey was one of his stars. His performance as J Paul Getty was already in the can. In fact, Scott had reputedly already finished the edit when he discovered that Spacey's star had not so much fallen as dive-bombed. Fearing that Spacey's now highly toxic reputation would tarnish the movie, Scott quickly recast Christopher Plummer, who was reputedly his first choice for the role anyway. They quickly reshot all of Spacey's scenes with Plummer and recut the film so that Spacey was nowhere to be seen. So I guess like a lot of people, at least part of my interest in this movie was purely academic. Could Ridley Scott really pull this off? Answer? Yes. Yes, he can. In fact, it's fair to say that Christopher Plummer is one of the best things about this film. He manages to be avuncular while simultaneously being rapacious. That twinkle in his eye gives him some sort of humanity which makes him almost relatable, despite his greed and miserliness and their hugely negative consequences. You're left feeling that his desire for wealth is a compulsion, an obsession that is something beyond his control. But herein lies a problem. For me, that aspect of Getty's character was actually the most interesting thing in the film, but his avarice is dealt with on something of a two-dimensional level, something entirely due to Scott's usual lack of subtlety and slightly prosaic view of the world rather than Plummer's performance, which is extraordinary. In terms of the technical achievement of interpolating Plummer into the film, yes, there are a couple of scenes where his face has been digitally composited onto Kevin Spacey's body, but if I hadn't known to look for it, I probably wouldn't have noticed. It's a damn sight better than the shocking attempts to CGI away Henry Cavill's moustache in Justice League, that's for sure. So an important question, this is a serious weighty movie, it's Oscar season, and a movie like this should be in contention, surely. Well, yeah, Michelle Williams could get a nomination, she's very good in this, but for my money she doesn't get enough to do. We only really see the strength in her performance when she's verbally sparring with Getty, again, far and away the best scenes in the movie. However, as I've already hinted, the film's far from perfect. At 133 minutes, it feels about 30 minutes over long, and after the excellent first act, the pace starts to feel very uneven. There are two culprits for this. Firstly, the scenes with the kidnappers, which feel like a TV movie of the week. They're all just a bit turgid and bland, and I never really found myself caring much for the young Paul Getty, played by Charlie Plummer, who's no relation, by the way. The violence, when it comes, is reasonably shocking, but it could have been so much more so if I'd actually had a bit more concern for the kidnapped boy, rather than thinking that he was just a bit boring. The other massive elephant in the room comes in the form of Mark Wahlberg, a disgraceful piece of miscasting, I'm sorry to say. I like Wahlberg. He comes across as being a really great guy, probably a guy I'd like to go and have a beer with, but he's got a limited acting range, sorry Mark. As an ex-CIA agent helping to negotiate with the kidnappers while simultaneously giving Williams confidence in him and in his abilities, Wahlberg needs to exude cool-headed competence and capability. Instead, he's Mark Wahlberg. He's a likeable guy. Put him in a blue-collar, boy-makes-good type of a role and I'll be rooting for him from start to finish. If he'd turned up to fix Michelle Williams' radiator, I'd have probably trusted him absolutely, but as an ultra-efficient hostage negotiator, he just fails to convince. All in all, this is far from being Ridley Scott's worst film, remember Robin Hood, but it's far from his best too. Worth watching as a technical curiosity piece, but I'd probably wait for the Blu-ray, DVD or download. Don't spend your hard-earned cash on a cinema visit. So I gave All the Money in the World 6 out of 10. That's it for this review. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to Magic Lantern TV and feel free to leave a comment below.